Hello dear students, welcome in this online session of Rain of Poem. So why I'm calling this Rain of Poem? This is of 10th standard lecture textbook first flight, and the Rain of Poem means I'm going to teach you two of the poems today in this video lecture. So what are the poems actually? Poems are actually the mirror showcase of any kind of theory, knowledge, concept or any kind of idea, dream related to a poet's mind. It also sometimes escapes the feeling relation with the words and also the words relating with some of the theories, emotions and stories too here in the form of poem or rhythmic lines too here. So this poem is also a very beautiful poem, A Tiger in the Zoo. Now we are gonna focus both the poem in the same lecture, so I'll start from the first one. So you can see here, The Tiger in the Zoo is a poem where this poem contrasts a tiger inside the zoo with the tiger inside the natural habitat. Natural habitat means what? It means that the tiger who is living inside the forest. So very beautifully you can see that Leslie Norris is actually giving the theory relation with the tiger inside the zoo. Now before starting the lecture, I wish that you all are fit and fine, and I also hope that you are maintaining the self-distancing and you are also attending your syllabus regularly at your home while you're sitting at your PC or with your cell phones and all with this online lectures and the good connectivity of internet. So stay safe and also stay safe, make other to safe here, and try to get a good sleep at night. Don't pressurize yourself on the studies. You need to also give some rest to your body too. So especially for the 10th standard student, you need to get a proper sleep at the night. So let's start the poem today. So this poem is actually contrasting, as I said you, the tiger who is living inside the lockup means inside the zoo, with the tiger who is living out of the lockup means inside the natural habitat here. So that's how this poem is dealing with the concept of very beautiful theory and the scenery too here. Now the first line, the first stanza says that he stalks inside the vivid spirits with the stripes, and on the few steps of his cage the tiger is making some kind of sound and stalking inside the cage. On the pads of the velvet quite in his rage, sometimes it becoming anger, sometimes he's just moving his velvety fur inside the cage. He should be lurking inside the shadow. Now what about the tiger who is living inside the forest? He should be lurking, he should be sleeping inside the shadow, sliding through the long grasses. He might be moving towards the long grasses inside the forest, and near the warhole, near the cave-like structure where the plum deer green can be seen out also there. So he's telling that where he might be finding the deer where they're passing through the grasses and all. So the stanza first is telling you the detailed information about the tiger who is lurking himself, sleeping inside the cage, making some sound and sometimes making some rage. He's angry also. And the tiger who is actually sleeping inside the shade of trees and also inside the area where he or it can see the deers. So that's how we are going to cover the two poems in this lecture, and I made you to understand the comparison of tiger 1 from the zoo to the tiger 2 from the natural habitat. Apart from that, if you go more further, then the third stanza says that he should be snarling around the houses, maybe angry around the houses and also at the jungle's edge. Now bending with his own color, sometimes what is happening, tigers can be seen inside the society area also. Sometimes they enter in the search of food, sometimes they are seen inside the forest area also. So bearing with his white fangs, his claws, terroring the village too here. The tiger who is out of the area, might be he terroring to the villages by making an entry that I am the tiger of this area, you are not the tiger, and he might be making some kinds of loud scream also. But what about the tiger in the locked up? He might be sleeping there only very silently. So therefore, but he is locked inside a concrete cell. Who is locked inside the concrete cell, my dear student? The tiger who is actually inside the zoo. His strength behind the bars. Bars means what? The lines of the lines which you can see as a rod, or you can say that the net which is also made by heavy steel, or the rod which is surrounded by the fencing of the wall where the tigers are kept inside their habitat in the zoo areas or inside the tiger sanctuary or inside the tiger cage too here. So that's how he is telling that the poet is telling that he might be locked inside the bar with inside the bars with all the strength and the power inside the cage, and also stalking with the length of his cage and ignoring the visitors. Sometimes he is making them sound And sometimes he's always sleeping on the floor, ignoring the visitors. Sometimes the visitors, visitors are so risky, especially the kids. They will make sound, they will pull the tail of the tiger, they will keep the wafers and all. So sometimes the tigers are ignoring them, because tigers also are knowing that they're the nonsense people. Let me sleep. Now he hears the last voice of at night. Now the tiger who is outside, who is near the village, who is in the forest, he may be hearing the patrolling car sound. He may be hiding inside. Why? Because he is a wild tiger. He is a wild tiger. He is open. He is roaming here and there. He is not like the caged tiger who will ignore the people. He will pay attention to the people, and he will be secured. He will be silent also. Otherwise, people will kill him. They will shoot him, or they will be making some scream towards him also. So the stares with his brilliant eye. Sometimes he's staring with the bright eye, the eyes which are shining like the fireballs at the night time when they reflect the lights. So the brilliance with the stars. The tiger who is outside is roaming here and there. So here the two life of the two tigers are displaced with the comparison of a tiger who is inside the cage and the tiger who is outside of the cage. Therefore, whenever you go and visit any cage, you should not tease tigers. Let them sleep, let them celebrate their own day. And if it's possible, we should save tiger also. So this lesson related to a poetry section is also depending on a tiger in the zoo, and it also giving you a beautiful escape and the memory of the your might be childhood days while you have visited the zoo, while you have visited some of the tigers who are actually kept inside. So sometimes we should support the nature, and we should not keep the animals inside the cage. We should let them free and protect them too here. Okay, now moving to the second poem. As I made you understand about the first poem, we'll be moving toward the second poem. Now what does the second poem says? This is also related to the animals only. See, 30 to 40% poems are related to the animal and the field of animal category only. So how to tell wild animals? See, how to tell wild animals means it is also to tell the wild animals to behave in a way, or to how they talk with each other. And that's how we can say that this whole of the lesson is depending upon the theory that how to tell the wild animals. And we'll start this poem in regarding with the topic that is the how to tell the wild animals. This poem is all about that how to tell wild animals, and it is also about how you can identify the animals while they are actually living inside the natural abode. And also this poem will tell you that how to you can keep a strong view and a regular visit towards the animal also, and also how you can funnily connect with them. So now if you are actually visiting any kind of forest, any kind of area, any kind of society where the animals are continuously visiting, you can experience that. You can experience easily that how the animals can be called, how the animals can be justified, how the animals can be judged well. So if ever you should go by chance to the jungle in the east, the poem is starting in the first stanza, that if you go inside the jungle by the chance in the direction of east, and if you should go to get an advanced adventure, a large and a tiny beast can be seen there. So that's how if it roars at you, you are dying, you will know that is an Asian lion. If you come to the Gujarat especially, and if a huge beast with the good color of the hairstyle, if it is roaring towards you by showing you the 7 to 5 inches of the canine teeth, you must run away from there, because it is none other than an Asian lion, that is the king of the jungle. So the first stanza is given for the Asian lion. The second stanza says that or if you generally visit the town, if you generally roam the jungle, if you generally sometime roam round and round, the noble, the wild beast can greet you. A very noble means why? Because it is also one of the national animal of our India. The noble animal will greet you with the black stripes on the yellow ground. The black stripes on the yellow ground means the tiger itself, the whole of the yellow body with the black stripes. Just notice if he eats you, then the simple rule may help you to learn that is a Bengal tiger and the discrepancy here. So it is a simple rule that is none other than other animal. It's a Royal Bengal tiger. Same as if you move further, then we can say if it strolls forth, if it is coming to you. The third stanza says that the beast you view, the beast, the animal which you see, whose hide with the spots in the prepared way, who is actually making some kinds of spots, the black spots on the body, looking very cute and big also, then you will know it's none other than a leopard who can climb on the tree and who can also take you far away from your own place to his naturals, which is very much free. So latterly you will all know that's the leopard here, and it is also known as one of the very hidden animal. Therefore 'twill do not goods to roar with the pain here. Sometime he'll only leap and leap again there. The leopards are roaring very less there, and they will come near to you to just leap you and take you from there. So that's how the leopard is actually referred in the third part of the stanza. If we move further, then we can also get some of the detailed theory related to the concept of this poem. So my dear student, this poem is getting you the example theories one by one, post by post, where you can understand how to tell animals. It means how to identify wild animals. And after identifying, you can easily judgmentally judge them, which kind of animal you might have seen at the night time, in the daytime, or in the bushes also. So therefore, if you're walking around in your yard, in the area, if you meet a creature there who you actually found hungry, or who hungry very often, who becomes very eatable, always needs to get some kinds of food, be sure it may be the Asian bear, or it may be the bear who can generally eat you raw. If you have any doubts, I guess he'll give you just one more caresses also. It means that if you have any kind of doubt that is is it a bear or is it a different kind of animal, then obviously there are some kinds of things where a gentle long touch can be getting by a bear who can be big enough for your height also, or who can be small enough like a small red panda too here. So that's how we can say that this poem is actually dealing with the prey animals. All the animals inside the story are the prey animals. The prey animals means the animals who depends upon the prey, they eat other animals. So that's how this poem, How to Tell Animal, is written about. Now the fifth stanza says that though to disguise the beast of prey, though it is look like a beast of prey, a novice might be different in the looking nonplus. He might be looking like a new person who is kept for the judgment, or who is kept for the job. He is always laughing, he is always roaming here and there, he is always smiling. He is like a newcomer in the classroom. He is not serious like tiger and lion. So the crocodile, you might have always maybe knowing about that, tells you from the hyenas. Thus, that's how the hyena come with you with the merry smile. The crocodile will tell you that, oh, there is the hyena, you must run away from there. Even the crocodile is also one of the dangerous animal, which is actually not looking like a prey animal, but it is there. But when the animal or the smile or the laughing is coming from the forest at the night time, from the bushes at the daytime, from the grasses at the evening time, from the down portion of the cave, you must be aware to save. Why? Because it may be a laughing creature who is actually hyena. So sometimes they laugh and sometimes they weep. That's how the hyenas and the crocodile live. Now the last line says that it's true that the chameleon is small. It's true the lizard starts with a long tail. It's true that he hasn't any ears at all. It's true that there is nothing on the tree. It's true the chameleon, you see, is changing the color, and it's true it is changing the color just for you. So this is the poem which is getting you a very beautiful concept of the, we can say, theory related to the nature and the wildlife, also starting from the lion, starting from the Asian lion, the pride of India and Gujarat too, and going to the hyenas also, including some bear, crocodile, tiger, leopard, and last but not the least, that is the color changing chameleon. So I hope this poem also make you to get some kinds of examples related to the lifestyle of the forest and the forest life, while the poet actually is describing, Mr. Carrion Wills is describing that how to judge the animal when you visit the forest. So we'll see you in some other lecture of the poems. Till then, take care, keep revising, be loving towards the nature, and stay away from the animals. Be secured, be safe. Jai Hind.